Check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Can you hear me all the way in the back there? If you can't hear me, please raise your hand. We're not there. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. We're not to that part. Can I please get a round of applause for every opening band we've ever had? Please raise your hand if you have never been to Bluegrass Tuesdays at Lily Pease before. All right. Welcome newbies and people who just like to raise your hands. Boy, am I glad you made it tonight. We're saying goodbye to Lily Pease and celebrating our beautiful time here. If this is news to you, please head over to our website, bluegrasstuesdays.com, where you can join our mailing list and stay in the loop on everything that's happening next. We have so many people to thank, but in the spirit of tradition, we're going to start with the guy who kept us going for 27 years across town. Can I please get a big round of applause for Mr. Jeff Bartley? And we have so many people to thank for our time here at Lily Pease. Hey, if you want to talk, you could go somewhere else, because tonight's it. That's all we got, so. Yeah, sorry. We got so many people to thank for our time here at Lily Pease, but none more than the one family at the heart of it all, Chris, Megan, Timmy, and the young woman whose name we say more than anyone else. Let's hear it for the Parsons family. Thank you guys. Big thanks also go out to Jambassador Jack. Man, yeah. Okay, please hold your applause to the end of this list. Manager Charlie, the team behind the bar. Okay. The team behind the bar, Kevin, David, and Jeremy, and who remembers Jake? Yeah. Shout out to tonight's wait staff. That's Janeth, Donna, and Juan. And everybody working hard for you back in the kitchen. I'd like to thank our third set usual suspects. That's Richie, Margaret, Dave, Eric, and my favorite bluegrass musician in the whole world, my dad, Steve. Thanks to our regular jam hosts, Kelly, Wayne, Ed, and a special tip of the hat to the handsome ladies. To our regular sound people, Dave Rizzuti, Dan Bowie, Micah Nickel, Garrett Compston, and many, many more. Thank you all for making everyone on the stage sound so good. And to those folks who've helped behind the scenes in so many ways, Laura Orshaw, Julie Metcalf, Sam Stambler, the BBU, especially Mark Terrio and Chris Reckling, and many, many more. You all know who you are. Thank you all so much. But above all, I want to thank you, our amazing bluegrass community, for showing up and supporting Bluegrass Tuesdays. In 30 plus years, we have grown into one of the most important weekly bluegrass nights in history, and it's all because of each and every one of you. So give yourselves a big round of applause. Now, when the Cantab Lounge announced it was closing during the pandemic, there was an outcry. But I'll be honest, I wasn't heartbroken because I knew what a clean bathroom doesn't smell like. And I believed that what made Tuesday nights so special wasn't the location, it was the people. Well, boy was I wrong. But not about the Cantab. It took moving over here to Lily Pease to understand that when you marry our amazing community with the right space, magic happens. And we've become a bigger and better community than I ever imagined possible. So, yeah, this time I am heartbroken to be losing our home, but I'm also more hopeful than ever because our community is stronger than ever. And with your help, I know we'll find our next home. Lily Pease will be a tough act to follow, but at least now we all know what an ideal place looks and feels like. Since the news broke, a lot of folks have offered their condolences. I appreciate it, but what I really need right now, what we all need, is for everyone to get busy helping us find our new home. A home with lots of spaces for jams and decent parking. We're in this together and we need your help. In the meantime, pickers and listeners alike, please join us next Tuesday, June 17th, at the playground, a block from Alewife. All the details have already gone out by email and will be on our website soon. That's bluegrasstuesdays.com. Finally, the word you were all hoping for. Finally, as grateful as I am to Chris and the entire Lily Pease team for giving us nearly 3 years of amazing Bluegrass Tuesdays, I'm even more grateful for what they have helped us build. Thanks to them, we're leaving here stronger than we've ever been.
Have we been working out?
So now, without further ado, let me introduce someone who might just be more responsible for the birth of this place than anyone else. Please welcome Lily Pease' mom, Megan.
That close? Okay. Can you hear me now? Don't worry, I'm not going to sing. Thank you all for being here. As Tony mentioned, I am Chris's wife and Lily and Timmy's mom. The cornerstone of Chris's vision for this restaurant more than 7 years ago was that it be a place where live music thrived. When Bluegrass Tuesdays needed a new home, Chris worked with Tony to bring it here. A stage was built, lights were installed, a PA system was added. And stickers, so many stickers, were added to this wall. Chris would take it with him if he could. Jams popped up in the hallways, the dining room, the stairwells, the patio, and the park. Bands and Berkeley students, old friends and new friends gathered here. Bluegrass Tuesdays breathed new life into Lily Pease after people stopped working in the area and offices closed. I would like to thank Tony and all of you for being part of that. I can tell you hosting Bluegrass Tuesdays here has been one of the greatest pleasures of Chris's life. This community is very special to him and to all of us. So a toast to Tony, to all of you, to our staff, and to Chris.
All right, and I'd like to introduce a young man who has one of the most impressive stories in the 30-plus year history of Bluegrass Tuesdays. He came down because he heard about this jam and this night, not just the jam, sorry, the whole night of Bluegrass Tuesdays, and he had such a good time. he immediately got hired here at the restaurant, and we have been so lucky to have him be involved. How about a big hand for Jack?
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I found this because my girlfriend Taylor bought a bass off of Facebook Marketplace from one of the basses from Audrey May, and we came to see them play. And I remember sitting right here at the bar and then seeing the jam circle that formed after, and just it was such a magical thing to be close to. And I knew I wanted to just be part of the community, even though I had never played bluegrass before, admittedly. And I was initially so scared to first come, not ever knowing or playing bluegrass before, but was immediately just blown away by how welcoming the whole community was and everybody, and being excited to share the music and all the joy and that it brings to people. And everyone in this community has just been, it's been the best part of my week for the past over 2 years now. And I owe it to Chris to have the vision to carve out this really special role where I got to be like at the middle of the Venn diagram for Lily Pease and the jam. And it was just the greatest honor for me. And I was just felt so privileged to always be able to be here and supply that every week. And I'll always look back at this as just one of the most treasured places and things and moments and periods of time in my life. So I thank everybody for that so much, and especially the man Chris, who I'd like to invite up to say some words now too. So give it up for Chris, everybody. He loves this community so much. He even told me, I'll put this out there. He even said he was even just, yeah, I'll let him speak for himself.
I said I wasn't going to cry, and Megan, thanks for breaking my promise to myself. Couldn't hold it together. Where to start? I plan on writing a letter and asking Tony to publish it for me so everyone can really get a full composition of my thoughts and my feelings about this. But there's a few people I want to point out here, and there's so many people. I hate to point out only a couple because everyone matters. It's really it's the community that makes this. It's not one single person. But there's a couple people that if it wasn't for them, Bluegrass wouldn't have come here. And when we opened this restaurant a long time, 6 years ago, right before COVID, I always had this thought that having Bluegrass Tuesdays here would be like beyond my wildest dreams. And COVID happened, and COVID had a funny way of affecting all of our lives. And pre-COVID, this restaurant was incredibly vibrant and incredibly exciting, and beyond my imagination of how busy and vibrant it could be. And COVID took that away. And really, we never recovered. But COVID brought Bluegrass here. So the ebbs and flows of life. You have to go with the flow and hope for the best. And good things did happen. But early on in COVID, Rich Stillman, and really briefly, Rich and I are really old friends. He used to come to my first restaurant, Megan and I's first restaurant, and with Stephanie. And they invited us over for dinner. And we were walking around their house, and one of the rooms is filled with LPs, and I started leafing through them, and they're all bluegrass LPs. So I said, what's going on here? And I happen to really like bluegrass, and one thing led to another. Rich lent me a banjo, and we traded meals for banjo lessons for a number of years. And fast forward to COVID, I reached out to Rich, and I knew there was things were going on at the Cantab, and no one really knew the future, and I saw the opportunity there. So we met here with Jeff Bartley, and we walked around, and Jeff checked it out. And Jeff was kind of in the point where he was deciding what's next for him personally, and he knew he didn't want to continue. He was ready to pass the torch. And But he was still concerned where Bluegrass was going to be, and he was willing to take the time to come see this space. So Rich and Jeff and I met. Maybe someone else was here, I don't recall. But anyhow, we walked around, and he said, yeah, and I was kind of trying to sell the place, and show him the patio and the rooms, and he said, well, where's the basement? And if I knew then what I knew now, I said there is no basement. Little do we know that the catacombs here were yet to be found for jammers. Anyhow, Tony took over, and Tony took a real chance. It was unsure what was going to happen, and he took a chance bringing it here. And I don't know if everyone really appreciates that, and at least my perspective, the weight of making that move after 27 years being over there and feeling like it wasn't ideal. And he really has big vision, and I think he knew and truly felt it was time for the next step, but those are difficult steps to make in life sometimes. And he made the move, he made the decision. We had a couple one-off nights here, and they went quite well. And that's how it all started. Eric built the stage. And and here we are today. So to Tony, everyone thanks me. I know everyone appreciates Tony, but I just can't overstate how much Tony cares about this. And he really is. We set the stage here, so to speak, but it's Tony that really is to be credited with all this. So thank you so much, Tony. I really appreciate it, Tony Watt. And to all of you, have an awesome night tonight. There's a number of other people I could mention, but I love all of you, and I really appreciate everything you've given to me personally, given to this restaurant. You are a shining, bright star for this restaurant, for me, and for the life of this restaurant. I feel like without Bluegrass Tuesdays, I don't know if we would have made it as long as we actually did. It was something myself, my partners, my investors would look at, and we would see the potential. And I just thank you.
All right, everyone, don't go anywhere. We're going to have a lot of music up here. It's going to be an open stage. We got a couple bands that were booked to play tonight. They've ceded most of their time, but we'll get them up to play some tunes. And anyone else that wants to come and play a song or two, make space for other folks. Tell a story if you'd like. We're really excited to see what happens, but no real agenda. So grab your instruments and get in line.